All right. Peace, blessings, Sapo, the success scholar. Mic check, mic check. Let me make sure. Hopefully, people can hear me. Let me turn that up. All right, got a little volume on that. Let me click this once over here. Okay. All right. I think I hear some background sounds. I don't know if that's better. That might be a little better here, but Haki Ami here, the success scholar, best-selling author, organizer, community worker, builder, thinker. Uh, been checking some things out, and let me just respect in terms of understanding that not everything is intentionally coming with a evil and spirit or mean spirited, shall I say? But just to add a little clarity, because I think that sometimes there's no specific mechanism that we have to check and balance each other, as well as information that's being put out. So I titled this Dr. Wesley Muhammad Forgot to Mention Africa Bambatta. And I'll just kind of mention, even for instance, the whole, many, I was just say many, for instance, of my brothers in the NOI, for whatever reason, have been silent on Africa Bambaataa. Now, it may be not necessarily intentional or whatever, but if you, ultimate protector, or I use the term Jegna, one that protects the women and children within the community. And we know our women and children, certainly need to be fundamentally, protected. And so how do we do that? We do that through, we gather the right intel when we speak in a very, speak with facts of what we do know. So I'm mentioning this because Dr. Wesley Muhammad just did a video on the queering of hip hop. It's like a 30-minute piece, and he dropped some good knowledge. But before that, and I haven't listened to my brother in a while, but I just wanted to peep in on him, see how he's doing and how his family doing. So, but I also want to just add some key points, because I feel on some levels we're ignoring critical points in our scholarship and in history to bring things together. Now, for many people may not know, and let me just mention, I'm actually heading to what made me want to do this video as well. I'm heading to Talib Kweli, Dead Prez, and Styles P and J Electrona concert this evening in Silver Spring. So I was just like, man, let me go ahead and, I know that, Jay represents the 5%, or I'll just say, some people say 5%, the nation gods of earth. So peace to the gods and earth out there. But you can't talk about both the queering of hip hop as well as the Illuminati in hip hop. And he has two videos out that discuss these things, and he go into the whole Michael Jackson phenomenon and the role of a prominent, member, I believe, yes, of the Jewish community, David Geffen, as well as his role, for instance, in the queering, what he refers to as the queering of hip hop. And so, going to this piece right now, I'm just very curious, to get an understanding going to this concert this evening. So if anybody in the VIP section, I'll be up there. But but I'm very curious, like in the analysis and research, no one in a mosque, for instance, has communicated what Africa Bambaata has done being one of the founders of hip hop, right? And several years ago, it all came to pass when B Stinger, a brother from Bronx, Reverend, I met B Stinger 2 times. Once in New York, I was up on 125th Street, and I just happened to be. I was up there for another film screening. I believe that was that for? Let me see. What was that? Gentrified or no, race war film. So I was up on 125th, and I, went to the vegan spot, and I walked in, and King Simon was there, and Sonetta, and B Stinger, and Sister Leela Wells, right? So it was like coincidentally, I'm up there for a film, and they are there discussing this film, Trapped in the Culture, right? Now, I know, brother, Wesley is up in Chicago right now, and I just want to be encouraging. Like, this sister's working on a documentary, and you get all these viewers, and it would have been nice for you to, this sister's working on this documentary talking about Africa Bambatta and everything else, right? And I know the sister, I don't know if she was a registered member at one time, but her family was early First Resurrection, if I'm not mistaken, or affiliated with the Panthers. I'm not sure, what specifically, but I do recall the sister mentioning something to that effect. So with that being said, I'm like, how, what's going on? Like, you add on, giving some key insights about the whole Michael Jackson and, everything else that's going on, and the whole phenomenon about, his, doctor, and who his enemies were, and Sony, and, A, B, and C. But, if we are talking about, that hip hop wasn't queer, for instance, or it is, I mean, we got to understand that there were this influence. When I was Zulu, I interviewed Dr. Wesley at the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, the one with Jay-Z. Okay, I decided not to release the interview based on. Oh, what? Okay, yeah, reach out to me. Yeah, let's build. I mean, just coincidentally. Thanks, brother Malik. Thanks for that. But I decided not to release the interview based on. Man, wow. I would like to hear about that. So definitely follow up with me. I'm gonna put my number out, 410-209-9687. Again, 410-209-9687. Hit me up, send me a text. So yeah, I'll see. Oh, what's up, partner? I appreciate it. All right. That's what's up. Yeah, you in Philly, right? So, brother, yeah, so I appreciate that. All right, that's what's up. So yeah, no, and here's the thing. So I'm going to this concert this evening, beloved, and I'm just like curious, brother Dr. Wesley doing these videos, and he went all through hip hop. And several years ago, I wasn't there. I wanted to make it up when everybody had that thing for when B Stinger and Hassan, came out there, and that was the initial thing. And I saw the video. It was like the Hebrews, Irte G, and a few other people, Dougie Diamonds, a few other individuals, and I was just like, nobody from Mosque Number 7 were present, right? And this is no intent to disrespect anybody, but I'm just like, what is going on? Like, man, this is big enough news. Star, I don't know if Star was there, but I did. Star was in Philadelphia, for the screening of this film. So I'm just saying, I'm sorry, not the screening, but initial, we'll call it a early screening to kind of critique and revise and make sure that the film was good. Because I put some, not a lot, but I put a couple dollars up for this film because I think that when we talk about the role of hip hop in the Black community, it's like you can't really talk about hip hop today now, and this is where we're gonna have to be affirmative with what the sister is doing, and like, look, put it out there front and center. I mean, it would have been nice if the sisters in Chicago, if the Final Call would have ran a respectful article like, yeah, the sister's working on this documentary. I mean, she's been a supporter of the NOI or Chicago conscious environment for years, and she's doing some work, and she needs some support for it. So I say to Dr. Wesley, with intent, respect. I spoke that day. I remember you, brother. I know who you are. I know. Oh shit. I definitely know who you are, brother. Video down to him and his son. Oh, okay. I was on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Only a few people there that day that cared about the issue. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. No, I feel you. No, and I mean, granted, I mean, regardless of why people came there. I mean, why are people staying away? Why were individuals? I mean, I don't know if there were some pastors there or not, but it's like you had the Hebrew Israelites out there, and it's like, I mean, they don't come out for much, right? But they kind of took some time to organize with one sect of the Hebrew Israelites. I ain't gonna label all of them like they really concerned with the total community. But I just did think, like, why didn't individuals come out? So now I'm seeing more and more videos now with Dr. Wesley, and I'm just like, man, you still haven't said anything about Africa Bambaataa? Like, you talking about hip hop and and all the hip hop conferences, and they recently made a Final Call at. They were there. I mean, I'm not saying. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that everybody gonna have to stop what they doing and just everybody jump on Africa Bambaataa, or talk about them all the damn time or whatever. But I mean, when he popped his head up, like what you've been doing, brother. Yeah, he's still Bambaataa still getting bookings. Like the brother brother Malik, has dropped it when Bambaataa did something. He posts and and he's telling people like, yo, don't go to this venue or call the venue. And I think he was where was the recent spot he was? Somewhere in New York, but yes, he does. And when right, I know, right. Yeah, that's what I was saying, brother. That's what I was saying. So I'm just like, I mean, you don't have any members, not a one member of the nation that feel the need to address this at all. So I'm just like, what's going on? Why is, I mean, and I don't know. He got to perform. Right. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to put it out there. I mean, and brothers is on point, and partially in terms of what's going on in the hip hop world, but I'm just like, look, I mean, you missing some parts, brother. I'm like, did somebody tell you not to say nothing about this part of hip hop? If you're saying that hip hop is now becoming queer with Lil Nas X and what's one of the other ones? I don't know, but some of the other ones. But are you saying that it never was? But the reality is that you had one of the core founders, right? I mean, that's on some people's radar or gaydar, whatever. He's considered one of the founders. Right. Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, and brother Genie, he at least, I mean, he talked about it once or twice, came up there, so I'm just like, man, I don't know what's going on, but like he shouldn't be no Mr. Untouchable. Africa Bambaataa shouldn't be no Mr. Untouchable, and neither should Dr. Malachi York. So that it takes a black woman to do a documentary on this, right? And you have brothers that haven't put up a red cent for the sister. And I ain't saying people that can't or whatever, but you can't tell me that in Chicago, the sisters in Chicago that, I mean, and she done a lot of the work already that, Dr. Wesley can't even, mention, this part of that the sister who's in Chicago, and granted, I'm not saying that, maybe I don't want to ruin it for her and their relationship if she know the brother, and I don't want to make it like totally about him, but like, man, you on point with some of this knowledge, but you ain't gonna not talk about Africa Bambaataa, brother. You know what I mean? Like this, I mean, and I heard Hassan, whether it's, I mean, people got issues with him and he got issues with himself or whatever, but he said something about Africa Bambaataa molested probably 1,000 children. So I'm like, man, this is serious. And this is I'm all the way down here in Maryland. And, I'm like, you in Chicago, and you got the mosque in, Muhammad. I'm sure they have other mosques up in New York, but, we need people to have the pulse of the people, right? And that's what the messenger taught. So I'm just like, somewhere along the line, if you keep talking about this topic, brother, and, no disrespect, people are going to keep wondering, like, wait a minute, like, and not that you need to do a whole dissertation on that, but, it's not no queering of hip hop at the core. If Bambaataa is in the core, I'm sure he's, enticed and influenced more than a few individuals in hip hop. Maybe KRS-One, I don't know. And that's man, KRS-One freed me, on different levels about a lot of things. So, but some people, got these attachments, right? These old attachments to these different people. And, our children are still suffering because Bambaataa may be still walking around in, I mean, I don't know if he's in Bronx, River, or wherever, doing what he has been doing. So it takes me, not these 4Ds in Baltimore or anybody else to bring this up, like, for real, and, intellectually with respect and humility, but, address this. And I'll close with this. Sorry if I was a little verbose with this, but I'll just close and say, yes, support that sister financially and fiscally. I'm going to contribute again to the sister, Leela Wells, that's doing this documentary on Africa Bambaataa. Please, she didn't put me up to this. I did this myself. Do not, my opinions and views do not reflect those of her, but I did this in respect. On some levels, please do not ignore this sister. I believe I have enough credibility and respectability, but even if it's not about me, it's about protecting, our young people. So if I have a voice, even the minister says, use your voice. Even the Quran says, use your voice. So, man, yeah, brother. So, yeah, man. But thanks, brother, man. I appreciate that. No doubt, brother. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep, we got to get that out, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even if it's, I keep giving the sister, advice, but even if it's just grassroots, door to door, you know what I'm saying? Just getting this out. I mean, I love the work that was done. I came up to Philly to see it, I mean, because I know, the power of hip hop, and I know that we need to correct the injustices that have gone on and still going on in the name of hip hop. Like KRS once said, he what he say, Bambaataa is hip hop, so you can't touch him or something, whatever to that effect. Like, man, this is bigger than hip hop. Like Dead Prez say, I'm going to see Dead Prez tonight, and this is bigger than hip hop. So I don't know if that's what they meant by that, but hell, our children's lives are bigger than hip hop. So yeah, man. But thanks you, brother. I'll check you out, man. I'll stay away with this because sexuality. If you fight it, they pull the rug under you. The reason why Africa might get away with this is because, yes, yeah, man, it's deep, man. The ball's been dropped. A lot of people did a lot of talking. Yeah, I mean, and granted, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, just hearing the whole stories of even watching those, some of the videos with the black speech saying, well, if he touched some people, man, if like the brother was there, man, if he touched some young people, man, or if he had some young girls or young boys, or just like, really? So that's some kind of perverted minds, and I don't think that any of us want to build a real nation, like that, and allowing for the infusion of these ideas, in this culture. And that's why the sister documentary is trapped in the culture. So support it. Maybe on Indiegogo or GoFundMe. Support the sister leader Wells. I'm out. Peace and blessings.